Boyz. Cali King.
In the morning. Eric V. Mick V.
Now it's an amazing Wednesday morning, 52 past the hour, September 4th, 2019. Special guest in the studio. Sing for him, Eric V. Come on. Well, it's the Baka, baby. It's the Baka Boyz in the morning. In the morning, it's the Baka Boyz, and we got a special guest for you. His name is Brian Johnson. Good morning, Brian Johnson.
Man, good morning. I've been waiting for that.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do that myself.
Don't be lying, man. Don't be lying.
I've been waiting for that one. Thank you so much for the intro. Man.
Oh, yeah, brother. Congratulations.
I wanted to put another toilet in here.
Another toilet, so you do a third toilet? Yeah. Brian, you must have some memories and knowledge of listening to us on the radio back in the day, huh?
For sure, man. A lot of support. Listen, you all are legends.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you all so much for having me here. You all are legends. It's an honor to be here.
Well, you've carved out a space on our show, brother. Congratulations. Look at what you have here. This is not the first one, though, is it?
It's actually the updated and revised version. So the first book came out 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I've learned some things in 5 years.
Number one best-selling book, yes. It says Live Your Dreams Out Loud.
Yep.
6 steps to conquer your fears and achieve your dreams. Fear is like the worst nightmare for everybody, right? Because it's like you're afraid. What are people going to think? What if I fail? What if this? What if that? How am I going to look if I fail? Isn't that what everybody's telling themselves?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been set up, man. We've been conditioned and we've been programmed
and
to think that
broken.
Way. Yes.
On purpose. And I had a show yesterday, and my guest was talking about the schooling system and how it's basically a setup for us to flow right into the workspace and to flow into society, and then even flow into prison.
Right.
Sometimes.
For sure.
Depends on how broken you are.
Absolutely.
Or how strong you are.
That's right.
Me and Eric were very strong. We dropped out of school 11th and 12th grade.
Really?
Oh yeah. We dropped out.
Wow. I didn't finish school. After I think 10th or 11th grade, I figured I was like, there's nothing I'm learning here that I'm going to apply in my regular life and what I want to do.
Wow. But the question is, you two were intuitive enough to know that and to think that and to go with that.
Yeah.
That says a lot. And I think that's something that has to be talked about a lot.
Definitely. And
we share more.
And we were lucky enough that, our parents didn't some people, if they quit school, they're getting their ass beat. Right. Period. Sure. They're not, they're getting kicked out. Yeah, you better go to school.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, we had our parents that were very supportive and knew that we wanted to DJ and do music and stuff like that. So they supported our dreams to do what we wanted to do.
I love that, man.
And never forced us to do anything.
Shout out to your parents, man.
Oh, man. Thank
Shout
you.
out to your parents.
So we got 6 steps here, man. You want to go down these steps and help us and our audience as well? I'm sure they have some questions for you.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think to give you some backstory on how I got to the steps, I mean, I've been working with some of the biggest names in Hollywood for quite some time. And when I moved out to Hollywood with $325 and a dream to start my own show.
From where?
I was in Atlanta.
At
the time, but I'm born and raised in Alabama.
Okay.
I was in Atlanta at the time, and I reached out to Tavis Smiley, and I said, listen, Tavis, my dream has always been to write. I want to speak. I want to inspire the freaking world. That's what I want to do. I want to have my own show. You pretty much embody the same spirit of things that I want to do, and I just want to learn from you.
Right.
So I'll get to, talking about mentors and establishing connections, but that's when the 6 steps came about.
Okay.
Furthermore, I created this thing called an Ask campaign online because we live in this digital world with so much opportunity in the digital space. And I created this Ask campaign and asked people, what is the number one thing that's preventing you from going to live your dreams?
Okay.
I got over 3,000 responses. And man, I took all of those things and I condensed them down into the 6 things that were consistent across the board, in addition to what I believe too as well.
All right, moving from Atlanta to LA with $325. How much was it?
$325 in a red suitcase.
$325, and do you still have that red suitcase?
I still got that red suitcase.
Because I know people that have gone through struggles, have through challenges, struggles and all that. They keep things around to remind them of the struggle.
It's a badge of honor.
Of what they went through and where they started to where they are now.
Right.
What are some of the fears you had to overcome to get to this step?
Man, just the whole notion of what everybody else thought, what my friends and my family thought. Mm-hmm. It was their thoughts that were lurking on me. Those fears were really heavy on me. And in addition to that, like my preconceived thoughts and the way I've been programmed and conditioned, am I going to be able to make enough money to survive?
Right.
What are people going to think? If I don't make it, how are people going to think? What is my mama going to say?
Right.
Raising a single parent household, so I'm
so
here.
Worried about everybody else's issues other than yourself.
Absolutely.
And I I've said this before, and I'm not, I have my moments of being, not the most positive person, and my brother can attest to this. But what I always say is make yourself happy first.
For sure.
Like whatever you need to do to make yourself happy, because everybody else outside of you is going to do what they're going to do anyway. And if it doesn't affect me directly, I don't care.
Right.
It has nothing to do with me.
And it may not look like happiness in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I mean, I was broke. I didn't have nothing. So I mean, I had to find gratitude in that moment. And you got to find gratitude in the midst of the chaos. That's something that we got to do better of.
So what are some of those tools that our audience and ourselves that we can use? What are those mental triggers that we can use to help have that gratitude in that moment of weakness, or like, oh my God, I just got hit with another $2,000 bill?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. And I think anytime you're growing through anything, and I don't say going through, I think anytime you're growing through anything, you got to go serve somebody else. Remove yourself.
Okay.
Remove yourself and go help somebody else.
Okay.
And that truly brings happiness.
Yeah.
Because now you understand that it's not all about
yourself.
You. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going outside of yourself.
Yep.
And you're providing and helping somebody else that might need it a lot more than you do.
Become selfless.
Oh, yes. I like that.
Selfless.
Okay, become selfless.
Yep.
And so this is available right now because all of our audience, they need this. I think everybody needs this.
Man, we're all dreamers.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
definitely.
For the most part, man. And especially in the times that we're living in, I define a dreamer as a person that sees life through a different lens. You're not confined to the norm. You want to go deeper. You're in tune with something that's inside of you.
Something larger.
Right? Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. And just like you all had the vision when you were in the 10th, 11th grade, you knew at the time, like you were dreamers. You are the epitome of dreamers to be in this, at the Dream Los Angeles, Hollywood.
Dream
Like this is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With BJ the Dreamer,
Yes.
So I mean, you all get it. You understand. And more so, I think to have the courage to act on it. That's what the out loud portion is. Because the whole live your dream, that's a very cliche term. That's a real cliche term. But out loud is about you taking action. We don't want you to just be a dreamer. We want you to take action on your dreams too as well.
Okay, so now you've worked with some of the biggest people in entertainment and beyond, of course. What are some of their fears? What is it similar?
Is it the same thing? Their fear of what the outside is thinking, or their friends, their family, other people, their peers, things like that.
I mean, celebrities, man. You all have worked with celebrities. You have you interviewed some of the biggest names. They have fears just like anybody else. And today, I think their fears are trolls. Yeah. On the internet, like who's commenting and saying this and that about them, and they really are consumed with that.
Right.
Versus just focusing on your art and your craft. Like, don't worry about what he or she's saying. Like, don't look into the comments. Like, don't feed into that.
Right.
Like,
my question is, like, they get to a certain point of stardom or success, and then now all of a sudden you're starting to worry. Look at what you already went through. You accomplished. You've grown this much, and people are looking at you now for inspiration. You can't let anything take you off your game. So
I think for most celebrities, it's the fear of staying, like, they want to be relevant. So when that relevancy dries up, like, there's that fear there because you're not on top, you're not seen, and you want that validation factor, which a lot of people, non-celebrity too as well, because of social media has given us a platform and a voice. We want to be validated for some reason. Right. That's why you see selfie. We're all about self. We are so self-absorbed right now. Like, I don't think we're even conscious of that.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And a lot of people out there listening can probably attest to that and, see that they're so caught up on how they look and all these things. That's one of the things that I learned early on in regards to social media. There was a book that came out, and they were basically saying, look, if you want to be successful in this medium right here, you kind of have to let everything go. Let go of your insecurities. Right. Let go of what you look like on film.
For sure.
And let go of the fact that people are going to be judging you on what you're wearing.
Right.
On what what you look like. If you're not wearing the Gucci, they're going to probably judge you, but get over it. Get over yourself.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And just be you and be as authentic as you possibly can. And that's really going to come across to everybody else out there.
I saw you want to go ahead? No, I saw a quote the other day on Instagram. I think it says something about, if you want to be a leader or if you want to start a business, how did I say that? I'm paraphrasing this. Like, basically go sell lemonade. Because this is not for you. Like, at the end of the day, like, if you because you're going to be judged, you're going to be criticized, you're going to go through so much stuff. Like, if you don't want none of that, just go sell lemonade on the side of the road. Okay,
right? Because it's a one way thing.
Absolutely.
You have a product here. If they want it, they'll come and get it.
Yeah.
If not, let me ask you this: out of if you're in business, any kind of business, it could be anything. It could even be a relationship, and you're trying to get to the next level, and you keep on getting doors closed and say, no, we don't want you to be a part of this, or I don't want to go out with you for whatever reason.
Right.
How do you continue to get past those no's and push through to the breakthrough, to the other side?
I think at the end of the day, at your core, you have to be committed and disciplined to whatever it is that you want to do. If it's your dream, if it's starting a business, if it's a relationship, if you know that this is something that you're supposed to do, when you find the act to be committed and to be disciplined, to take action on that, you got to be relentless in your pursuit and be consistent more so than anything. You know what I'm saying? I think, in the book I talk about being committed and what that looks like. I think a lot of times, because we are in the microwave society, we have a tendency, because we want things to be quick.
Immediate.
Yeah, immediate, right now. It's the long-term game. It's like Jay-Z said. I love what Jay-Z said when he sat down with my man from the New York Times. He said, do you want to be a trend, or do you want to be Ralph Lauren? Like, I'm here to play forever.
Right.
And forever, sometimes when it comes to you being in a pursuit and doors not opening, things not happening, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep pursuing.
Just keep pursuing. Yeah. Live your dreams out loud. We have Brian Johnson in the studio right now. Let's go over some of these the steps that you've acquired of, all this knowledge of asking people what is stopping you from getting to the next level.
For sure. The first step is clarity. I think a lot of times we're not clear about what it is that we want to do. We live in a world full of distractions. A lot of us don't meditate. We don't necessarily know what meditation is, but we have so many distractions that prevent us from clearing our mind and being able to focus on what our passions truly are. So I think the first step to being able to live your dreams is being able to get clarity.
Okay. And by getting clear, you mean let's write something down. Let's really figure out what we want in our life.
Yeah, I mean, just really centering yourself and asking yourself, what is it that I truly want to do?
Yeah.
I mean, we never really take the time to really just put the phone away, go to the beach, go somewhere, go to a quiet place and meditate and find yourself.
Remove yourself.
For sure, yeah.
And have some space. What about as far as have you worked with somebody and, helped install these steps for them and seen the transformation from point A to point B to where they wanted to go, or A or B to A or whatever?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I tell you what. So I coach. I do a lot of coaching, and a lot of my clients that come on board, they have all of these things that they want to do.
Okay.
And they're not really good at one thing. They haven't really truly identified one thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of times it's bringing them down to be able to focus on one thing and get one thing started and get one thing done.
Okay.
That's the true measure of success. Let's just get one thing done.
Right.
You got all these things that you want to do, but let's just get one thing done.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's really bringing people down and being able to understand that you got to get clarity, and let's start with just one thing.
Start with one.
Yeah.
Start with one.
Sure.
Get that done. Move on to the next.
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool.
And you said commitment earlier.
Yeah, commitment. Commitment is the second one, man. It's really about being able to dig deep and understand, commit to whatever's, doing whatever's necessary to accomplish your goals without violating the rights of anybody else. I think the word commitment, I played sports growing up. I played sports from the time I was 5, and I played college basketball too as well. So just understanding, being committed to whatever it is, the task is at hand, it's essential for you to be able to live your dreams. And
Right.
I think a lot of times, I'll go here. I think commitment these days in the modern world, even in relationships and in other aspects, we don't like to commit to things, because we have so much opportunity now in the world, more so than ever.
Right.
Yeah.
So commitment is a big hurdle for a lot of us.
So getting clear, first and foremost, you got to get clear before you can commit to something.
For sure.
Because if you're committing it to, what are you committing to exactly here?
For sure.
All right, we got connect. We have, what competence?
Oh, competence.
Competence.
Yeah. So you got connection first, and that's being able to master the arts of friends. And I tell you first, initially when I came in, I connected with Tavis Smiley.
Yes.
And connecting with Tavis, I think a lot of times we come into situations where we always have our hands out. How can you help me? How can you help me without adding value to people at first? When I moved out here to LA, I knew my dream was to have my own show and to pretty much do everything Tavis was doing. But instead of asking him for something, asking for a salary, I said, how can I help you? How can I help you first? Yep. Yeah. Let me help you lift up your dreams first. You don't have to pay me anything, because what I'm going to get from you, it's
priceless.
It's priceless. You know what I'm saying?
Just being around him.
Absolutely. Just being in that energy and just seeing how, contracts coming through. He's writing writing his own books. He's selling hundreds of thousands of copies of books through his own imprint. Like, he's doing these things. And I'm like, wow, how do I do this?
Wow.
How do I learn how to create my own show? How do I go get sponsorship the same way he's doing this? I just want to learn.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really about, when I talk about connecting, like having connections, adding value to people, add value first.
Yeah.
Anytime I meet somebody out and about, I talk to them. How can I help you?
Yeah.
How can I serve you? What's going on in your life right now? Maybe if it's not me, maybe it's somebody that I know.
I can connect
it's a
with you.
connection that I can bridge for you. So
Right.
connecting, mastering the art of friends during the dream process, like that's something that's truly essential.
I like that. Moving on to competence.
Man, I think, there's a lot of times we're more incompetent than anything. And I'll speak to myself. I've been working in the industry for 7 years now, behind the camera, overseeing talent, booking talent for some of the biggest shows. And I wanted to develop these relationships, and I wanted to learn more about production before I truly just stepped out here and went independent with, becoming a thought leader, becoming this mindful thought leader. I wanted to really take my time and hone in on my skills and become competent and learn stuff.
You know what you're talking about.
Absolutely. I mean, going back to the microwave society, like wanted it immediately. No, learn. So being competent, man, is really all about developing your talent and your skills. Put in the work so you can be better than average. That really means a lot. And you'll reap better than average results.
I love it, man. There's so much more, but we want people to pick up this book and use this. This is a amazing tool for your life, for your family, for your friends, your children, or anything or just for yourself. If you're by yourself,
absolutely,
this is good for you, just by yourself. Now, you went from having 300 and how much?
25,
325 in a
red suitcase.
Now
wait, I want a picture of this suitcase, man.
I got one on my Instagram somewhere.
Do you have anything in the suitcase still?
Yeah, I got books.
Yeah.
I live pretty much like a hermit, man. Like, at the end of the day, I try to live in a way where if some shit, if something pops off in 30 minutes, I can pack my car up and I can be gone. The place that I live at right now is fully furnished. All I have is my clothes and my books.
And
my books are like my 401k. Like, they've been my saving grace. So I try to read a book a week.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's my thing. Like, the knowledge is out there. So right now my red suitcase is stacked up with books.
So whatever you want to learn, whatever you want to do, you have to take the action to get to where you want to go.
Man, we are living in the best times of our life right now.
Why?
Because the information is out there. And even if there's something that you want to accomplish, regardless, even if it's not that exact thing, there's somebody that's done something very similar. There are people out there right now who want to start a radio show, and they don't necessarily
have no idea how to do it.
But they can watch you every day and tune in.
Yeah,
and they can come in here and internship and ask you, how do we do this? How do we do this? And ask all the questions. They get a chance to network, add value in so many aspects. We're living in the best times of our life right now in this moment, because the internet and the advancement of technology and the information that's presented to us today, it's the best time of our lives.
It's accessible for everybody.
Absolutely.
Everybody can get it. I mean, there's people that are making millions of dollars making videos about nothing on YouTube.
Absolutely. I mean, you got kids that are 16 that are playing on YouTube, playing videos on game, making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
All day.
I mean, there's so much. You hear about so many youth, selling things, flipping shoes. I mean, if you look on Fairfax all the time, these kids are standing in line for shoes, but they're standing in line. They realize that's a part of their job.
There's a business there.
Yeah, it's a business. And they making six figures, selling tennis shoes. I respect that hustle.
All right, guys, you got to get this book right now. It's Brian Johnson, and it's 6 steps to conquer your fears and achieve your dreams. I know everybody has dreams, but you got to actually take some steps.
Yes, that's
to
true.
Get to them. Live your dreams out loud, ladies and gentlemen, and follow you. Where do they follow you on Instagram?
At BJ the Dreamer on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You better DM us a picture of that suitcase.
Oh,
bro.
man, I'm gonna get it to you. I'm gonna get it to you before I get ready to get out of here.
I'm infatuated with the red suitcase, bro.
Absolutely. I think when it comes to the dream process, man, we as dreamers, we need some sort of structure.
Definitely.
Like, structure is so important. And so I know for me and for all of the people that I've surveyed, the people that I've interviewed, we're just all over the place.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give people a true system and structure. And I'm not saying that this is the only structure, but this is some structure. And the book's very interactive. If you look inside the book, by the time you start this book and finish this book, you will have your dream plan mapped out for you.
Awesome.
I ask you questions throughout the course of the book. So it's story-based, then it's concept-based, and then I ask you questions based on what you just read.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And you're just bringing this for free for us, man?
Yeah, man. I mean, come on, listen. You're legends, man. Like you're legends. I respect.
Show me your send me your Venmo, man. I gotta pay for this.
Nah. Pay it forward.
This is beautiful right here, ladies and gentlemen. Live your dreams out loud. Once again, make sure to get this. This is the updated and revised version. Is this available digitally as well?
Yes, digital.
Okay.
Yep, digital copy. And so, for anybody that's listening to this right now, if you go to liveyourdreamsoutloud.com, you can get the digital copy for $1.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I made it available for everybody.
Easy.
Like I want it to be as easy. You have no excuse. You can get the digital copy at liveyourdreamsoutloud.com for $1. It'll be instantly sent to you, and then we hope that you will also buy the physical copy as well for $20 is on the
Congratulations,
website.
man. Thanks for coming in today. I'm glad we got finally to connect.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and do
thank you
this.
so much.
And I know you did bring value to our listeners out there today, and so we really appreciate that.
Thank you all so much, man. Listen, thank you. You had something you want to say?
No, go ahead.
No. So I just want to say thank you. I really do mean this because I understand. I've been watching you all for quite some time, listening to you and your interviews. I watched Jeezy last week, and I love the way that you all go in, the way that you all ask questions like you understand. It's like Jordan. It's like two Jordans. I ain't gonna say Jordan and Pippen. I'm not gonna say Jordan and Pippen. It's like two Jordans here. You know what I mean? So I just really appreciate you all and the work that you all have done for you all. I mean, you stayed consistent and you stayed committed to this particular plight and this journey. You've been doing this at the highest level for a long time. So thank you all for having me.
Appreciate you for recognizing that and putting it out there to the universe. And I had a question before you go. Of the 6 steps that you have made, what do you think is the most important one of the 6 steps? The one you really have to hone in on?
Eric V only wants to do one.
No. That's not what it is.
You know how
if you had to prioritize, or if you had 6 kids, which one would be your favorite?
You know how whenever you ask an artist what's their favorite album,
favorite song,
it's kind of like what's their favorite track they've ever made,
right?
And and I've heard some people say it was their first album.
Okay.
Because their first album is the one that pretty much
they put them on the map.
They put them on the map.
Yeah.
Right. And so I would say in this particular process, all of them are important. But I think with clarity, like just getting clear.
Clarity.
Like I think that's why I put that as the first step, in addition to other research from other people. But I think clarity is the first.
Know what you want to do.
Yeah. Because you can have cash flow, but if you're not clear about what it is you want to do,
the money's just going to go away.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I think clarity is the most important.
Once again, your Instagram?
BJ the Dreamer, at BJ the Dreamer.
BJ the Dreamer. There it is right there.
All right.
The Baka Boyz. Brian Johnson in the studio. Thank you. Make sure to pick this book up right now. Live Your Dreams Out Loud, the new revised version.
Yes.
Get your 6 steps. Get your life straight. Get it done.
Radio how it's supposed to be heard. It's the Baka Boyz Show.